They live. They walk among us. They live. They have always lived. The Luciferian order, cloaked in darkness, hiding in plain sight among the powerful and the forgotten alike. They attend banquets of kings and back alleys of beggars, whisperers and ears, trading souls for influence. To the untrained eyes, they are ordinaries, teachers, bankers, politicians, celebrities. But behind the mask, something ancient and malevolent watches. Those who claim to see them are mocked, branded as unstable, because truth is dangerous in a world built on lies. Yet the witnesses persist. The Satanist is not the character you've been told about. They are polished, eloquent, patient, moving through corridors of influence like smoke. Their rituals aren't always in a candlelight basement. Sometimes they are in corporate boardrooms or private estate garden under a new moon. They do not worship in desperation. They worship with intent and deals that ripple through generation. Their creed is control, and their scripture is manipulation of the human will. The occults are everywhere, less about religion, more about ownership. Some call themselves spiritual retreats. Others are hidden inside charity or artistic movement. They train followers to abandon conscience, to see morality as an obstacle, not a compass. Outsiders think cult members are brainwashed fools, but the truth is darker. Many are willing participants because the power and pleasure offered are intoxicating. It's easier to kneel than to fight. The Inferno is not a place below the earth. It's a dimension that overlap arms, bleeding through cracks in reality. Those who have been there describe not as a endless flame, but as a suffocating city of shadows, where the air tastes like metallic and despair hum in the ground. From this place, things come through, things that wear human skin, but whose eyes are too still, too cold. Once they cross over, they do not leave. The reptilian presence is older than human history. They are not aliens in the way science fiction paints them. They are part of the hidden architecture of this planet. Their shapes vary, sometimes fully human, sometimes serpentine, but their intent is always the same: feed on fear, harvest obedience. Witnesses who speak of them often say the same thing. Their smile doesn't reach their eyes. If you notice them noticing you, your life changed forever. Demons are not just figures from religious texts. They are opportunists in the unseen. They exploit grief, addiction, rage like predators, scenting blood. They attach themselves to moments of weakness, whispering, amplifying darkness until the hosts believe the thoughts are their own. They do not always roam. Often they smile. Maybe people live entire life believing they are simply unlucky or broken, never realizing something rides their shadow. And yes, angels are real, but they are not the glowing harp playing beings of the painting. They are warriors, they are scarce, they are armors, they are relentless. They intervene quietly, steadily, because they know the war is not won by spectacle, by shifting one decision at a time. Those who have truly seen an angel speak of presence so overwhelming that words break in their mouth. Even they cannot be everywhere, and their restraint leaves space for darkness to thrive. The common thread among witnesses is the isolation. They are told they imagine it, that sleep paralysis explain it. The hallucination can be vivid. This gaslighting is deliberate. It keeps the truth quarantined. But when two strangers from opposite side of the world describe the same thing, the same impossible eyes, it becomes harder to dismiss pattern emerges. Patterns point to something real. It's in the city, the countryside, the ocean, the old house where rooms are colder than the rest, the forest where no birds sing, the hotel where guests dream the same nightmare without knowing each other. These are not coincident. They are intersection where the veils thin. Sensitive people feel it as a pressure in their chest, heaviness in the air. The rest simply say, I don't like this place, without knowing why. Symbols are their fingerprint. The same ancient mark appear in music, video, architect, political event, a hand gesture, a color scheme. They're mocking the public ignorance. They operate on the belief that if they hide it in plain sight, no one will believe the ones who notice it. The clever one understand that more you show something, the more invisible it becomes. The symbols. History is filled with myths that are simply reported from people who saw too much. Every culture speaks of beings that feed, manipulate, or guide humanity. Different names, same sense. Serpentine in the garden. God demanding sacrifice, visitors from the stars. The stories survive not because they were entertainment, but because they were warning. Warning not marked, distorted, or ignored. The watchers are patient. They do not need to conquer overnight. They plant seeds in bloodlines, industry, governments. The sons of man manipulated today could be the ruler they control tomorrow. This generational game is why so many who fight them feel hopeless. It is not a battle of years, but of century. They do not all work together. The Luciferian, the cultists, the reptilians, the demons, they often compete, but their alliances shift like sand. But their rivalry never benefit humanity. Their victories are measured in our submission to them. We are resources to them. We are both currency and entertainment. Not all humans who see them survive long enough to speak. Some disappear without a trace. Some are discredited so thoroughly that even family doubt them. Others spiral into madness, not because they were unstable, but because they could no longer live in a world pretending this wasn't real. The truth is a heavy crown. Many cannot many cannot bear its weight. The greatest weapon of the unseen is ridicule. Make someone a joke. You don't have to silence them. The more absurd a witness sound, the safer the predators are. This is why they ensure the mainstream depiction of supernaturals are cartoonish or romanticized. If reality ever resembles fiction too closely, people might start asking the wrong questions. Some witnesses become hunters. They learn the pattern, the signs, the ways to fight back. Most play deeply. Most pay dearly, financially, socially, sometimes with their lives. But a few survive long enough to pass their knowledge on. They speak a protective symbol, of spoken wands, of places where darkness cannot follow. Yet, even these strong ones admit that victory is rarely permanent. The angels from the past saying bound by rules they will not speak. They cannot save everyone. They do not always arrive. And when they do, they often leave without explanation. This frustrates those they protect. But perhaps it is a mercy. Knowing too much about the war above and below can change a person forever. What the average person doesn't understand is that seeing them is not a gift, it is an invitation. Once you notice them, they notice you. Once you acknowledge their existence, you are part of the game. This is why so many people pretend they didn't see, they didn't hear, they didn't feel. Ignorance is dangerous, but awareness is a target on your back. And so the witness keeps speaking to friends, to strangers, to anyone who will listen. They are not crazy. They are not confused. They are survivors of an encounter that should be impossible, yet are all too real. Each testimony is a piece of the puzzle. Most refuse to assemble because the complete picture is terrifying. They live: the Luciferian, the Satanist, the cult, the Inferno, the Reptilian, the demons, the angels. They live. They are not myth. They are not metaphor. They are not delusion. They walk among us, watching, influencing, raging their ancient war in the shadow. You don't have to believe the story, but if one night you find yourself staring into the eyes that don't belong to humans, to a human, remember the words: they live. Basically, they've always been here with us. And now we're in the era of the light bearers and stuff like that. And we are starting to see it come more focused and stuff like that. We just enter into the age of Aquarius, the water bearer. A lot of things are going to happen, and typically this lasts for about like 2,160 some years. So a lot of we can expect a lot of things to transpire. Um, we know for a fact that every 12,000 years, the Earth gets reshaped. So the world that we're living in right now is going to be considered old world because the world that went under. So basically, the way it is that every 12,000 years, everything gets shaken up, right? So a lot of there's a lot of unknown worlds underneath us. They're going to come back up, and when they're coming back up, there's going to be a lot of death on the known world that we know of. There's going to be a lot of death in that, and then some of the known world is going to go down. And from the way I'm getting it, it's because that just like us, we are reborn and stuff like that. So it seems like the landmass that has to happen to them too. So the best way they do it, and it looked like this has happened like at least 5 times, um, best to our memory, where um, the known world go to the unknown place and the unknown world come to the known world. And every time that happened, there's a big shift. And it looks like it happens after one. It looks like it happened after every 5 ages of something that happens here. So it's happening here. We could expect this nonsense of alien invasion, and it's pretty much would be people from other dimension. We do have a lot of dimension here, and that's something that we're going to hear more and more people talk about, like things they've seen. Like in the coming years, you're going to hear people, and it's going to be well known. You're going to hear people talking about, I saw a reptilian. And then the way it is now, we normally go cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. We're not going to go cuckoo, cuckoo within 5, 6, 7 years. No. And whoever survived the coming shift, because it's going to be like a hard reset. And the hard reset is that a lot of the known worlds, what we know today is the world itself is not going to look like this, right? Um, a lot of countries who have big territory is going to shrink because they're going to lose territory that's going to go underneath the water, that's going to sit there for 12,000 years and have to come back up again. But we are the rare few that gets to live that and experience it. This happened every 12,000 years, so there can only be a certain group of people that see it. We happen to be one of them. So what we're going to be telling future unborn people, it's going to sound like myth because within 1 or 2 generation, the world we will be explaining, they would have never seen that world. Imagine that. They would have never seen that world. Like, for example, we'll be talking about New York. Within 2 or 3 generation, the people that are born, they would have never seen New York. And New York would sound like a folk tale to them. And the reason it's going to sound like a folk tale to them is because there won't be any New York. There won't be any New York on the water at all. There'll be no traces of New York. We'll be talking about parts of Florida. We like Florida used to be bigger than that. Piece of it broke out and went in the water. But 2 or 3 generations now, they're not going to be able to see it. So they won't believe it. Like the Caribbean, who have all these small islands all these islands are supposed to be connecting with each other, like click, click, click. And they're going to be turning into jumbo um, continent. And believe it or not, all those little islands and stuff is going to connect straight to the continent of Africa, and you're going to be able to physically walk from the continent of Africa all through where the Caribbean, where these lands are connected, and you'll be able to even walk straight to South America. You'll be able to walk straight to North America. But the thing is about it, um, 50% of North America will not exist anymore. About a good 30-40% of what we call consider South America will be gone. And then, so basically, it looks like this is the way that they do a reset here, right? Like a hardcore reset. So all this stuff about currency and stuff like that, um, y- people are actually going back to planting food. They don't know they are. People talking about, oh, we go no, no, no. You're going back to planting food for now. Um, I would say that people are going to go back to agrarian culture because what's going to happen here? The whole is going to be a violent shake. Nothing's going to look the same. I'm telling you, this world is going to look totally different. The old world that we know of is going to be completely gone. Places, countries are not going to be where we routinely know. The map is going to have to be redrawn, people. The map we're using right now is going to be nothing within, like, I would say 5 to 8, 10 years. That's going to be garbage. It's going to be it's not going to be functional because what you're going to see on that map is not going to be what's there in actuality because of the great coming shift, right? And so that's where you have people talking about, oh, we're going into another dimension and this and, that, and et cetera and et cetera. I like, kind of, sort of, not. The planet reshape itself after every 12,000 years. We are right there on the cusp of when it's supposed to happen. This planet is not going to look the same. That we are going to expect some violent tsunami. These violent tsunami is to shape the planet. Expect some very violent earthquake that's going to help bring the shift everything up. Expect some violent hurricane, earthquake, tsunami, tornadoes, hailstorms, vicious snowstorms, because all of this is supposed to speed it. And what we're going to see, we're going to start seeing massive change. I would say, expect in the next year or two, there'll be no more flights. There'll be no more flights within 1 to 3 years from now. There'll be no flights at all because we should be having volcanoes should be going off left and right over here, and that's going to help like bring um, countries bring the unknown world up and take some of the known world down. This whole place, people, is going to look totally, totally different, and I feel like we don't have enough people, white lights out here speaking of this. I know it's gonna sound crazy that some of us are sounding the alarm, like, "Hey, this place gonna look different. A lot of the known world's not gonna exist. People, get it together. No, we're not getting on spaceship. We're not going to Mars. We're not doing this. Y'all butts gonna go plant, and everybody gonna go plant. Everybody get to planet. Hey, everybody get to planet. Hey, everybody run from the dinosaurs." I'm saying, everybody run from the dinosaurs. Hey. Because when that stuff come back up, it's gonna bring those creatures, like things that we heard of that we thought was legend. We're about to see some crazy stuff. We're about to see some giants. We're gonna be living where man of renown. We're gonna see these people. We're gonna be running for our dear life, like, ah. We're gonna have like prehistoric diseases and viruses, and we're gonna be like, ah, run. It's sounding so insane, but hold on tight. I promise you. Phew, I don't know how many of us gonna make it after it's all said and done. So, like right now, the money's gonna crash. Bet. Okay. They got their plan, but unfortunately, there's something bigger plan than what they got. They got a plan where they're trying to right now trying to figure out where all the goals and the dime, being materialistic, they're gonna go hunker down. Where do you think where everything's gonna be at? But they just don't realize that's probably some of the worst spot they're gonna be in. Yeah, they may not, they might have all that wealth, but I'm telling you, them things gonna come with some critters, man. Those things are gonna come with some unbelievable because they're not thinking about that part. When these things hit the surface, and guess what happened? It come with some. So they're gonna have like viruses that been laying down for like 12,000 years. Shit, out of sight, out of mind. That's gonna come to the surface. I mean, it's a lot of things, And then y'all gonna think I'm sound crazy. Like within 5, 6, 7 years from now, I promise you, gold ain't gonna mean nothing on this planet. Diamond ain't gonna be nothing. Fossil fuel ain't gonna mean nothing because you're gonna have creatures that's all they're gonna do is release fossil fuel once you kill them. Believe it or not. Um, we are going to be living in some excitement. You're going to have some safe zones where people are going to be there to plant their food and live. And it's going to be like the waters are going to be very violent. The way you see people moving around the ocean, they won't be able to do that. Most people are not going to be able to swim in the waters anymore because we're going to have some very vicious little creatures in in the ocean and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things to come. I know that they want to do a little mock wannabe alien invasion nonsense of theirs. We do have other dimensions here. So, but we know that some people are going to clarify. But I know those beings are from another dimension, people. Okay, nothing to see here, people, and that's the way they look. So whew, it's just that the secrecy is going to fall. Okay, yeah. So what I want to do here, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Manushka Jessica, host of Local T Podcast. Please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know if I'm losing you, if you need me to slow down, what is it exactly that you need me for me to do. Um, yeah, everything is finna. Ooh, so, like right now, this is the rest time. It's finna get a little crazy. Like, I think the craziness is gonna start like I would say around December of 2025, and then once we hit 2026, we're gonna be in straight cray land by and then we're gonna start really having these rumbles and shakes and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna have their World War III. How you gonna have World War III when the planet getting ready to shift? The unknown world getting ready to come up here, and some of the known world getting ready to go down there. I don't know how they're gonna be doing that. Because this is something that, yeah, that's what they want to do, but I don't think that whatever control is going to let them do that because this is and another thing too that I don't get. They talking about they want to position themselves for another 2 or 3 thousand years, and they're gonna do this and do that. But the thing is, it's always been like that. It's always been like passing the baton. And to be honest with you, they don't have a say in it. To be honest with you, ain't nothing they can say or do about it. And that's the real thing. And and you guys will see this. And then also the internet is gonna come down. So we're gonna have like probably 3 or 4 months we don't have internet, and the internet come back up again. And then when it happens the third time, people just gonna leave that crap alone. They're gonna be like, by that time people ain't gonna even gonna be missing it. I mean, we got a lot of exciting things getting ready to happen. Uh See you guys on the other side. My slogan is see you make it to 2030. Thank you so much. This is Manushka Jessica, host of Luco T Podcast. Make it to 2030, y'all. Bye.